The standard for cake mix boxes is 15.25 ounces or 15.5 ounces. However, up until very recently, the industry standard was 18 or 18.25 ounces, and you can check this online. This is across all the different companies that make boxes of cake mix. And this is because of something called shrinkflation. We all know what inflation is with grocery prices. That just means the price goes up. But shrinkflation is when the actual materials that are inside of usually processed foods goes down. The amount that you get, or the quality of those ingredients goes down. Now, obviously we don't like this when it comes to like a bag of chips or something, because we're getting less for the same amount. But it's a unique problem when it comes to boxes of cake mix, because you can no longer make a 9 by 13 cake, which was what the 18 or 18.25 ounce box represented. You can no longer make two 8-inch round cake layers if you're making, like, say, a birthday cake. It's just not doing it anymore. And you're going to continue to see this problem as long as we have these food corporations that are driven by a profit motive, by shareholders, where the line just has to continue to go up. There's nowhere else for it to go. They cannot cut costs any further. There's no more efficiency that can be brought into the mass food production process. And also, there are just fewer people pretty soon that are going to be even buying these foods. Like, as you may know, like Elon Musk actually projects correctly, I think, that like the world population is going to be declining. So there's going to be fewer people to buy these products. So if we have fewer people buying the products, if we have less interest in home baking, and the process cannot be made any more efficient or cheap, how do we continue to squeeze more profits as shareholders out of this company? We don't, unless we just keep cutting and cutting and cutting the value for customers, and that in turn brings fewer customers, right? Like, it's just going to be a vicious cycle. I have been on message boards that are frequented by home bakers, and what I'm finding that they are doing is they are actually buying 2 boxes of the mix. They're using 1 full box, and then they're measuring out like an additional 3 ounces using the new gram scale that they bought. I mean, this doesn't sound efficient. Like, this totally takes away all of the, convenience and efficiency that the box mix was promising for us. If you ever needed a sign that you should chuck the box cake mix and start making things at home, let this be your sign. These are continually going to become less value. There's going to be less material in them. They're going to cost more. And then also the materials that are in them are going to be lower of quality. There are a lot of ingredients in here in order to powder the ingredients that you would normally use in a cake that are known to harden the arteries. So you're increasing your chances of stroke and artery hardening, and it's just not good. It just doesn't taste as good as something that you make homemade. There's a marked difference in the box and homemade. Maybe you could handle all of those things before if it were actually convenient and a good value. None of that sounds like a good value. Getting out a gram scale, getting a kitchen scale, and figuring out, okay, how do I fix this box, and then I have an extra box, and who knows when I'll use that box. Like, it just doesn't sound good. So I think you should try to make something at home. It's so easy to do it. I'll probably post like my super easy 1 bowl chocolate cake and my super easy 1 bowl vanilla cake another day, just so you can see just how simple it is, just like a dump cake, rather than the creaming butter and sugar recipes that I usually do, which require at least 2 bowls. That's all I have to say. Let's ditch the box cake mix and all these artificial chemicals. It's not a good value, and it's not even good anymore.